Something interesting about you, I think.
Yes, I also wanted to say that.
I can sing.
And which school are you joining?
Strathmore, I'm in Strathmore.
Oh, you're currently at Strathmore. Oh, nice.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth. I'm a parent to many of you, maybe. And I'm happy to be here. Something interesting about me, I love to travel. Thank you.
God is good
all the time.
all the time.
God is good.
My name is Gayakal Peter. I'm heading to University of Pretoria to pursue Masters in Agricultural Economics. Something interesting about me is that I'm a fisherman. A fisherman.
Hi everyone. First of all, mnakaa vizuri sana. My name is Mary Mugani Wangari, a former student at the University of Nairobi, and I'll be heading to the University of Pretoria to pursue my LLM. And something interesting about me is that I'm always like the shortest person in the room. So, but I've seen there's another person, Leander, so we'll see. Yeah, thank you. And I'm looking forward to having a lovely dinner and lovely conversations. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brenda Kimati. Previously was in KU. I'm an engineer. What's interesting about me is probably my work. I've built systems at Wilson Airport, and I've built also structures in Parliament, and I'm looking forward to doing a master's, and I'm here to look at the opportunities that exist up there. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just getting information and starting the process.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Bridget Karimi. I'm heading to Pretoria for honors in food science. What is interesting about me, I love toddlers. I love kids, and that is what I consider interesting. I'm so happy to be part of it.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Habari zenyu. My name is Josiah Muriuki. I am honored to be here and very excited. A 2 times Mastercard Foundation Scholar, I'm a Mandela Rhodes Scholar, and honored to be the Executive Director at Better Mentor Africa. And currently, just feeling the heat of the moment, because I'm like, when you plan something and it comes to fruition, it's a great joy. So something exciting about me is I can do so many things at once. I really can do a million things. And one other interesting thing is that as I do a million things, I hope each of them will give me a dollar. I will be a billionaire. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Hi. How are you doing? My name is Rosaline Mushiri, Owena Mushiri, and I am a data analyst and an AI automation specialist by profession. And I'm also here on behalf of Nairobi AI community, and I'm actually very happy because I am an aspiring study abroad scholar. I have been applying for these scholarships for some time now, and I'm really happy to hear that we have some guys here actually traveling to do their studies, master's degree, whichever it is. Actually, that's interesting. That's a privilege for you to have. And maybe I could borrow some few tips after this and how you did it. You manage to the notifications and all that. Yeah, that's quite interesting. And I think what I love doing, I can beat you in poker. I'm really good at that. So if there's someone who is good at it, we can look at. Yeah. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Willy Masharia. Currently, I'm doing my master's at the University of California, Berkeley. But before that, I spent 10 years in South Africa at Shell Society while I was there. I was in Cape Town, MasterCard Foundation, started working there, and then I decided to go back, do a lot. I am at Nairobi AI community in Duarena. We do a lot of things, including AI automation, training people, AI awareness, data privacy, ethics in AI, and all those stuff. So we would be happy to have a conversation with you if those are things that interest you. And also, you could ask us about opportunities that are around AI. Right? Something interesting about me, I'm a pro cyclist, so most of my weekends, Saturdays, I'm cycling, doing like 120 kilometers cycling and all that stuff. Yeah. Thank you.
I feel very small when I hear Berkeley, Pretoria, MasterCard. So what do I say? AI automation, pediatrician. Did you say you are pediatrician? Food science. You say you are kids. So you are pediatrician, nutritionist. Very good. My name is Kinyo Johnson. I work at the Master. So Josiah is my mentee from 2020 when we were called. I'm the dean of students. So I love taking care of these young ones and molding Josiah. Yes. I prophesy that you'll be the Minister for Energy in 2030. Can I hear you? Yeah. This boy is a case study of grace to grass, is it? No, grass to grace, sorry. Because if there is someone whom I've seen growing with the Leaders Club or Josiah from Mahama to a mighty global scholar. He flies from South Africa to Chicago, like going from Nairobi to Kiriaga. So Josiah, you have inspired, that's why I've come, because apart from inspiring all these people, you inspire me. And okay, start there. Another one is Guka. You know Guka? Yes. Peter Guka. Now Kiwi has joined the league. Now I'm Meleta Mujama back. So it's good to have a global perspective and to make a global change. One thing about me, I'm simple. Just I don't complicate like that. Thank you very much.
You can pass the mic to Farida and Brianna.
Hello, thank you so much, Aisha. My name is Brianna Mzebele. I am from Eswatini and I am a student at the University of Buckingham in the UK. It's a great pleasure to be here and also to support the work that Better Mentor is doing. It's really inspiring to find a mentorship program that uplifts young people and helps them believe in themselves and their capability to be a positive catalyst in their communities and society. Thank you. Hi everyone, Farida Kaura, and I'm an incoming MasterCard scholar. Okay, so Halida and I'm an incoming MasterCard scholar at UP. I'll be doing Bachelor of Information Technology. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. And before we head on to prayers, I mean, you cannot start before the presence of God, right? Right?
Yeah.
I want to tell you guys something interesting. This is not the first time I'm in the same room with Willie. And probably he doesn't know. you are a Wings to Fly scholar, right? You went to Njeri School,
Yes.
University of Cape Town. See? I think during one of the sessions we normally have as scholars, he came and I think that time he was heading to Cape Town and he spoke to us and I was like, wow. And yeah, I'm also a global scholar right now. So it's a good thing. Also, Brenda said she's looking for opportunities to learn more about going to study abroad and Jerry also. I can guarantee you guys are in the right place. So feel free to ask any questions. All these faces you're seeing here, including Josiah, because now I can say, yeah, ako hapo juu, he knows most. But I mean, we are all here to learn, right? So I'm gonna give this opportunity to Jerry so that he prays. We pray together, and then we'll continue from there. Thank you.
Okay, let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Holy Spirit. Almighty intercession, we ask you to be with us from the beginning and to the end, God. And also for those still traveling to this place, God, may you grant them journey mercies. We thank you, we honor you, we glorify you. We pray all this believing and trusting. Amen.
Thank you. Now, okay. When Josiah reached out to me and he was like, I want you to be the MC. I've never done this before, let me be honest. But I'm gonna try my best. Sawa. Anyway, you feel like, feel free to give your, what are they called? Comments so that next time we know where to improve. And also compliments so that I know where to stand, right? Thank you. So, I don't know how to do the opening remarks, but I'm gonna say this. Studying here is such a great opportunity. Last year, time like this, if you were to ask me if I'm gonna be at ALU 1 year to come, I would say no. Because I remember I was doing my applications, I wasn't so sure about them. You see that self-doubt that normally there's that sound normally at the back of your head, and it's always like, are you really sure you want to do this? But then you yourself, you know you want to do it. So I was listening to that voice more. And by that time, I was in JQuat doing something that I didn't. I was doing analytical chemistry. I didn't know if I was supposed to do it. I didn't know if I loved doing it. But all I knew that I loved chemistry in high school. So I was like, you know what, let me try it. But turns out it wasn't meant for me. I was trying something, but I wasn't sure. But sometimes I came to learn, sometimes you have to do something so that you know it really wasn't meant for you. And I believe some of us you found your place, you found yourself in such places, right? So as I'm doing this, as I'm standing here right now, I feel like it's such a huge step that I took. And I don't even know what to say, but to thank God, because MasterCard Foundation Scholars, when I think that name is big enough for you to stand somewhere in a room, and when you talk about it, opportunity, people look at you as hope, right? Yes, so to our incoming global scholars, welcome to this other side. You're gonna learn, you're gonna enjoy, you're gonna have fun, you're going to interact. Oh, by the way, culture shock is very real. You're gonna interact with different people, different things, and feel free to ask any question, feel free to explore. Don't be in a cocoon. That's one thing I promised myself. Never be in a cocoon, because you'll never learn. You'll never experience things that you're supposed to experience outside Kenya. You're going to a bigger place, you're going to a bigger space where people with different but bigger mindsets are, just like yours. So don't put yourself in a specific place where you feel like this is just the place I'm supposed to be. No, try many new things. Try start that business. It might fail, but you know what? That's how people start. Try applying for the, what are they called? The summits, the global summits. Do everything. It's your time to explore, it's your time to learn. So take this opportunity to do what you can do at your best. Sawa sawa. That's all I can say. And it's actually good to hear from someone else who has gone through this, so that it won't be just me, but someone else to tell you guys how it is, right? So we're gonna hear from Gayakal Peter. He's gonna share his testimony, and then from there, we're gonna have Melvin share his testimony too, and then we'll continue from there. Sawa? Yes, Melvin. Oh, we start with Cal. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I want to share a story. When I was in class 3, back home in Homa Bay, a relative looked at me, a small boy with empty pockets, and gave me an advice that I have never forgotten. He didn't tell me to study hard. He didn't tell me to dream big. He said, Gaya, just learn to fish just like your father. In his eyes, my destiny was already written and ended at the edge of Lake Victoria. I didn't argue with him, but I decided his words will not be my sailing. They will be my fuel. I carried the same fuel to Origo Boys High School. Funnily, I was named after my grandfather, Adon Janam Jakinda. In my mother tongue, Jakinda means effort, and I tried my best to live it daily. I made a quiet decision that if my future will be built, then it will be built on effort. But effort doesn't always pay immediately. Today, I may introduce myself as an incoming MasterCard scholar, but you did see my 2025, where I got 9 rejections, scholarship rejections, but I did not give up. In between, there was silence. And there were moments that I wondered if that relative who wrote me off academically when I was in class 3 was right. Maybe I was reaching too far. The doubt followed me when I joined Betamenta Africa, a step that was made possible by a destiny helper, Mr. Eric Midigo, who introduced me to Mr. Josiah Muriuki, whose mentorship through Betamenta Africa helped me learn, refine, and persist. I thought I was ready. I thought I had done enough. But mentorship, I learned, isn't a comfort, it is a confrontation. One mentor looked at my work and said, Gaya, you have good grades, but where is the impact? Where is your story? And that question stuck with me to date. I went back to work, not harder, but smarter. And eventually, the door opened. Today, I stand before you as a recipient of 2 global scholarships. That is the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship and the Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship, both at the University of Pretoria. I will be pursuing Masters in Agricultural Economics, not because I rejected the lake, but because I wanted to understand it better. I come from a fisherman, and one of my names is Janam, meaning a fisherman, a name tied to the lake. It, it reminds me one principle: cast your bread upon the waters. That is faith. And I have learned that my journey needed both Jakinda, effort, and Janam, faith. Jakinda, the effort to work outcomes when outcomes were uncertain, and Janam, to believe when the results were not visible. So to every young person here, especially from those places where expectations are small, someone may tell you just to go fish, to settle, to accept limits on you early. I'm still learning my path, but I know this much: destiny is not inherited, it is built through effort, through the courage, and through the faith to keep going when the future is unclear. My name is Gayakal. I am from Homa Bay, the county of endless potential, and I am deeply grateful to be learning, still becoming, and still building. And my story is entitled The Fisherman, the Scholar, and the Seed. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. It seems people have a lot of names here. My name is Melvin Bishar Gabongo. I'm currently a Mastercard Foundation scholar. I'm joining University of Victoria to pursue computer science. But when I sit down and reflect my story, and I remember the mountains I've climbed, the challenges I've faced, I just sit back and say, in fact, God is great. My story started back in primary school. I was in Muberia Primary School, back in Muranga County. I was a day scholar, so I used to commute. After class 8, I got 396 marks, and I joined Baricho High School in Kirinyaga County, where I joined under Wings to Fly Scholar. So I was a Wings to Fly Scholar, which is more or less the same like Mastercard. It provides everything. So I consider myself more fortunate, kind of. So just after Form 4, I got a minus 79 points. Although that was not what I was expecting. I was expecting a higher grade to pursue medicine, but it is what it is. So I got 79 points. I joined Multimedia University of Kenya, where I joined to pursue computer science. Just 3 weeks after I joined, the strike happened. So in fact, I'm a computer science student in Kenya for 3 weeks. Yeah. I received an email. I kept refreshing the email app, and I received this message from Mastercard. I've qualified, and I could not believe until I asked one of my mentors, who is currently in South Africa, is it real, or am I just dreaming? So when I sit back and realize the opportunity that I have received, I just say it is not just by my effort, but the stakeholders behind me and the circle that surrounded me. So Better Mentor Africa, how did I come to know about Better Mentor Africa? During Wings to Fly Congress, there were these during break times, they used to display success stories of those mentees, those people who are under Wings to Fly. And one of the stories was about Josiah Morioki. And I was currently in Form 1, and I realized that In fact, we share more or less the same with Josiah. And since that day, I kept on asking myself, when will I meet Josiah, so that I can ask him, how did you go about this and this and this? Because during the interview, I remember when he was asked about how he managed that, and he said about the mantra, to whom much is given, much is expected. And I also believe the same, because I believe I have received much, and much is coming from me. So Better Mentor Africa gave me a mentor. Together with ELP, I was also an ELP scholar, so I had two mentors. They reviewed my essays, polished my essays. Yeah, I was a bit reluctant to write those essays. Yeah, but they reviewed them, and fortunately I got the scholarship. Now, I believe this scholarship is not just the end, but the beginning of I believe a great leader is being made. Leaders are made upon. So, yeah, I think that's my story.
Thank you so much, Melvin, and I'm going to call you Carl for now. Thank you. We've had the stories, right? I hope we've learned a thing or two from them. The resilience, the nights. You guys used to sleep writing essays. You used to stay up writing essays. Yeah. I feel like it's a process you have to go through, so that I normally feel like it's a must, so that you get to know how much important it is when you get it. So as we've heard from the two of them, I want us to get some, just for 5 minutes, we get some words of wisdom from Madam Elizabeth. Kindly.
Hi, good evening. My name is Elizabeth, and today I'm wearing the hat of a parent, or a family member, or a mentor, or someone who stepped up to be your parent or your guardian. So as parents, we love our children very much, and we remember even when we carried our children in our wombs, we remember the first time you spoke, we remember the first time you started writing, the questions you asked when you were eager to know about the world. But now, time has come that this curiosity of our children has taken you away from us to across the border, across the oceans, and for some, across the continents. So we release you, and we release you with a lot of love, not with fear. We believe in you, and we know that you're going to achieve what has taken you there. So what that opportunity comes with is responsibility, courage, and growth. So as parents, our prayer is that when you go across the continents, that you will be able to remember that when you're carrying your suitcase, you're not only carrying your clothes, you're carrying your values, you're carrying your family name, you're carrying your country, Kenya. So please remember that you will have new freedoms, embrace them, but not everything that will be new will be good for you. So you'll have to be very critical to choose what is important to you. You will also need to remember what you've learned over the years, what parents have taught you, what the mentors have taught you, what your guardians have taught you, because not everything that is old that you've learned should be dismissed. You need to have a balance. Embrace the new that is important, and please hold on to what is old and keeps working. When you're out there, there will be moments of excitement, happiness, but there are times when you'll be lonely, you'll be homesick. Please remember what took you there and hang in there. And I'd like to recommend that you have a passion of what you are going to do. Because I believe when you apply for what you want to do. So don't forget that passion, let it keep you going. Because when everything else fails, at least you have passion to follow. And also, please persevere. It will not be easy. The exams are not easy. Sometimes you fail, but please don't give up. Please don't give up. Do a retake, and you will get better as life goes on. We are also, as parents, guardians, big sisters, praying for you that you will manage your time very well, so that you have time to read and time to reach out to your mentors, reach out to your teachers, reach out to family, so that you're able to balance. We pray that you'll manage your finances well, so that if you have planned that it takes you for a month, and you don't spend too much on one thing and then you miss on another, so that you also don't suffer. We pray that you take care of your health, so that as you graduate with good health, because you will need it when you come to the working world. We need you as graduates, and healthy graduates for that matter. So we also plead with you, be people of integrity, because even when no one is watching, God can see that you're doing the right thing, and you will be rewarded for that. Remember where you've come from, the sacrifices you have put in for you to get this opportunity. Remember the sacrifices that your parents, family, guardians have put in for you to get that opportunity. Please make use of it, and we are behind you and we are supporting you. Most importantly, please believe in yourself, and you've gotten this chance because you're capable. Never forget that. You might make mistakes, but please learn and rise. Don't stay down. Keep rising. Please remember that we love you and we trust. Our trust is in you 100%. We believe in you. Always remember that. We pray that you will grow. We pray that you will shine, and that you will become successful human beings, kind human beings, people who are important in the society, and mostly important to our families. The families that we will then prepare, when we'll get into, and the ones that we've left behind. So we pray that may your journeys be safe, and may you look forward to a bright future. We support you as parents, and we love you. Bottom line is, as parents, we love you very, very much. Parents, guardians, mentors, they love you, and that is why they take a lot of time, they spend a lot of time praying for you, listening to you, walking with you. Please remember that you're loved. Never forget that. And thank you very much. May God guide you. And I pray that I'll see your photos when you're graduating and getting higher and higher. God bless you.
Thank you so much. You can do better for Mom. Come on. Thank you. She talked about, let me say this. She talked about giving up. And when we were doing our orientation as first years at AU. Our Dean of Studies said something, and up to date, it sticks with me. She said, sometimes you feel like you don't want to wake up from that bed and attend that class. Sometimes you feel like, should I really attend that class? Like you always have those moments you feel like you've done enough. Maybe the results were not what you expected, but the moment you know what took you there, the moment you know why you're there, you throw that blanket away. You see the way in high school you used to be told, utalala ukiwa nyumbani. They were basically telling us, you'll sleep when you're comfortable with life, but you'll never be comfortable with life. So as you're stepping into the academic space, especially the global space, sometimes utaka hapo you just miss home. And the funny thing is that sometimes you miss home, you look at your phone, you feel like calling them, but everyone is busy. It's part of life. You guys, you gotta experience it and you'll come back and tell us. But the bottom line is, don't give up. Another thing, she talked about your values. You see what your mom has taught you at home, or your guardian, what they taught you at home. Carry that thing. Out here, things are many. Kila kitu iko. Everything is there. But how you carry yourself and how you present yourself is what really matters. Because in the outside world, they won't just see you as who you are or someone's child. In fact, they normally call us Kenyans. So you're not carrying just you or your family, you're carrying the whole country. So whatever you do out there, it's gonna be like a Kenyan is doing it, not you me. So let's reflect on that. We heard from Melvin, we heard from Peter. But again, there's this thing of gender balance. So can we hear it from a girl also, senior? So that we also know how it was. And I believe it's not different, but just to be on the safer side. I want to give this opportunity to Mary so that she shares her journey. She tells us how it was, the application, how she felt when she received that email, and yeah, so that we can also learn a thing from her. Mary, please. Let's encourage her.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening once again. As you've heard, I am Mary Bododi Wangari, and I knew from when I was in high school, I knew that I wanted to get a scholarship and to one day study outside Kenya. So when I was completing my Form 4, and I come from Githurai 45, so not everyone has such a dream. And I remember I had heard about African Leadership University, but then I never knew how to apply. I never knew how to, like, what are the application requirements and everything. So of course, after Form 4, you now set up an email address, and I subscribed to African Leadership University. And that is where that dream ended at that time. So fast forward, I joined the University of Nairobi, and I remember I only applied to do one course, that is law. So I went and I did law. And in 2024, I saw the Mandela Rhodes scholarship application, and I think I saw it on LinkedIn or this somewhere online. So I saw the application and I was interested in applying. And I approached my boss and was like, Mary, you just apply. So I sat down, wrote the essays on my own, and fast forward to October, I went to Cape Town and I did the interviews. And then they called me and they told me they regretted they didn't give me the scholarship. Let me tell you, I cried, I think it was October 15th. I cried from that day till November 1st. And I now on LinkedIn, I got to see now the scholars that have been selected, and Josiah was one of the scholars. So that is where I reached out to Josiah and I told him I'm interested in, I think he mentioned the mentorship on his page or something, and that is how I got to join the Better Mentor Africa. And the thing that Better Mentor Africa has given me is community. And you have mentioned that you've been applying, I know. because I've had, I think, about 8 rejections. And there's just something about those rejections, and there's just a way that they just shape your resilience. So treat it as a process that you're learning, of course, for yourself and everyone else, because it's going to be a journey. But then we thank God for Betterment Africa, because you'll find community, you'll find people that believe in you, you'll find people that challenge you, because that is what I've gotten. Even on days when you don't feel like applying, you will see others applying and submitting their applications. You will see Josiah telling people congratulations. And so it will give you the encouragement to write, to apply. And even just beyond just the applications and everything, in Betterment Africa, you'll be able to get skills that you really just can't get them anywhere else. For example, interview preparation skills. Beginning of 2025, there's a scholarship that was looking promising, but then it also didn't go through. And I remember Josiah helping me prepare. You know, he was like, "This is how you do the interviews." I was like, "Hey, that is why some people get the scholarships and others don't, because this is how you're supposed to be prepared." And these are skills that, for Josiah, like he'll be able, and even the other mentors that you will get, and they'll give you as many mentors as you want. Because I think for myself, I had 3 mentors, and I was able to work with them. They critique and everything. So there are skills that you will get, and even just community. There are people that you will meet, people who will work with you, not just through this scholarship journey and even beyond. For how I felt when I received the scholarship, I had just finished doing my bar exams, and so I had taken a break from applying and everything. And so that Monday, I was in the office, and I reached out to Josiah, and he was like, "Yes, you now continue applying." And I was like, "Again?" Because it's November, others have offers, you don't have, so you keep applying. So he told me, "You keep applying," and I told him that let's take a break for this week because I still have work and life is happening. So in the afternoon, I'm back from lunch, and I'm seated there, and then I see MasterCard. And like, accept. I think I have read that email. I don't know if there's anything I have ever read more than that email in my life. I read it almost every day, and it was a good feeling to see that this finally happened, and to even see that you've finally gotten accepted, and not just accepted, you've gotten accepted to University of Pretoria. And for myself, like a law student, Pretoria has the Center for Human Rights. So even in this like application process, it might take 1 year, 2 years, like me, 2024, 2025, but when it finally happens, you even like, it comes at the right time, yeah? There's a Bible verse that talks about, like, you know, things just happening at the right time. And after I received my scholarship, now it has been planning and everything, and I've gotten to connect a lot with fellow scholars that we're going together. And even between that in December, there's a professor of law from Georgetown Law University who reached out to me, and they were like, "We've seen you're a human rights expert." And I was like, I have not even begun my master's. But then I had updated that on LinkedIn, and that is one of the things that you'll also learn when you're part of Betterment Africa. And this week on Tuesday, I was able to meet with those students, and I was able to just talk them through human rights and even just things, how they're happening in Kenya on the ground. So you see, this is something that I would not have been able to do like 2-3 years ago. If maybe I had gotten that Mandela Road scholarship, I would have gone and done. But right now, I understand even like the masters that I'm going to do, and I even understand the value of being called a MasterCard scholar and even a global scholar. So mine is just to also encourage anyone who's waiting on a scholarship or whatever you're waiting on, to wait well. I think it's one of the greatest lessons that I have learned. Wait well. Even as you're waiting, what are the lessons? What, like not just lessons in terms of like skills and everything, but what lessons are you learning that will carry you through one chapter of life to another? Kwa hayo machache, asanteni and be blessed.
Thank you so much. Can we give her another round of applause, please? Thank you. And on that note, can we hear also from another girl? Right? Bridget, please. Just like 3 minutes maximum.
So good evening once again. Okay, for me this moment, what I carry is gratitude. Of course, my story is very long. If I were to tell you where I came from or where I was born, my story, my parents, it really would be a big story. So in a nutshell, I grew up in rural Meru, in a family of farmers, and I carry my family name Mutweri with a lot of pride. That is my dad, with a lot of agriculture around me and all that. I was fortunate to go to Starehe Girls Center and the Education for All Children. They gave me a scholarship, and they have also worked with me that journey. And my story will not be the way it is without IFAC. I will not be just if I did not mention that in my story, and I am grateful to them because of that. And then also, just like Mary, I did apply for the Mandela Rhodes scholarship last year. I went for the interviews, but then the story was not as I expected. But then for me, it did not really hurt me. I would not say it was hurtful as such, because with life I have learned to take everything. I just let things teach me. There is a philosopher who says that in every challenge, in every downfall, do not let that pass without it teaching you a lesson. So I learned the art of patience and also sticking on. I did not mention that I went to Mount Kenya. I'm a food scientist, and I have pioneered various projects specifically around nutrition for expectant mothers, lactating mothers, and under 5 children. That is why I tell you I love toddlers, I love children. So my projects have been around looking for nutritional solutions for them, particularly the ones in starving communities, Turkana and Somalia and such. So that is my specialty, and I am grateful because that is my way of service. I have learned we don't just work, we serve. We serve in whichever capacity we serve, and so that is the future that I look into, the one of service. And I'm so grateful to Better Mentor now that they have made me, they have given me an opportunity to serve in a bigger scope. So Josiah and your team, you're really changing the world, and we're really applauding you for that. And I would say, as a Christian, may God bless you. Yeah, and for each one of you, may God bless you. And to us, as we go to study, we're going to make Kenya, we're going to shine the flag of Kenya and for Africa, now that we are speaking about the African continent. Thank you so much for this opportunity. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Bridget. We've learned 1 and 2 from them, right? Si tumesoma kitu kidogo? Yes. Lienda, I promise you, by the time you leave this room, you're going to learn a few more Swahili words. Yes. On to the next. When I was writing my 2025 vision goals, one of them was to leave Africa. Not in a bad way, but you know, in a way that I'll go, I have fun, but also benefits, right? So I'm gonna give this chance to Willis so that he tells us beyond Africa, what is it? What can we get from there? The fact that now we are out of Kenya, what is it that we can get from outside Africa so that we can come back home greater and make it better? Willis.
Yes. Thank you for the chance. Like I said, I think for those who came late, my name is Willy Masharia. Currently, I'm doing my master's at the University of California, Berkeley. And I did spend some time in Cape Town, like 10 years. I think those who came for the Mandela Rhodes interview, you can tell them how Cape Town is beautiful, right? And actually my story is, and probably this is captured in my upcoming book, because I'm writing a book. It will be published next year in 2027. But the story is actually coming from east, going to south, and then heading to west. I don't know whether we'll go to north some other time. But yeah, I think my story can all summarize by the word Ubuntu. And for those who don't know about Ubuntu, Ubuntu is, there is a famous Zulu proverb. It says that it says, Gubuntu, Gabantu, Abantu. And what that means is that we are people because of other people, right? Me standing here, currently having traveled close to 15 countries, is because of other people, right? And I do remember when I was at Wings to Fly, I was given the scholarship for Wings to Fly when I was in Form 4. Apparently someone did something and he was taken out of the scholarship, and they saw how my school fees balance was at Injiri School, and they decided to give me the scholarship. That's a story for another day, but from there, even when I went to South Africa in Cape Town, I managed to get very unique opportunities like study abroad program. I remember spending 2 months in 2019 in Germany. From there, traveled with MasterCard to Rwanda, and also traveled to other places like Portugal, Germany, Italy. And these are the opportunities that came, when I was at the University of Cape Town. And I also remember I had to go to New York also for a computer science hackathon, because I was the chair of the University of Cape Town Computer Science Developer Society. So what I'm trying to highlight in my story, I have been given 5 minutes, so I'm just trying to summarize my story. And also I do write, so I write a lot of blogs. I have covered my story in so many blogs. So if you are interested to learn more, I can give you a link and you can go and read some of my stories. One of the stories I wrote was, from a village boy to a graduate of the University of Cape Town. I have a whole story there. In December, I wrote a story. It said how I came from Cape Town all the way to Silicon Valley right now, and how many people have enabled me, and how that story, flows. And, Ubuntu, for me, is the word, and I have always wanted to give others chances. Wawera is here, she is in Nairobi AI community, and she knows the kind of work that we are also doing there, trying to teach people how to use AI, automation skills. And we're doing this for free, we're gathering instructors from all over the world to come and give back. And the reason for this is just Ubuntu, having gone through my way, having people supported me. And that's why, I always relate to the vision that Better Mentor has, which is passing the baton. Because someone gave you the baton, right? It's for you to pass it to the next person, right? And I always encourage people, wherever you go, treat other people the right way, make them feel welcome, don't crush their dreams, but pour into their dreams, right? Don't scare them, but welcome them, right? When you go out there for those of you who have gotten global admission, you'll be in a class full of Chinese and Taiwanese and Russians, and maybe you just be the only Kenyan in the class. And while you are there, diversity will be there. Don't, learn to embrace the diversity. Don't learn, don't run away from it, but be part of that community. You know, treat them right. Show them the Ubuntu that carries you. You know. The other thing is, you know, I had a point here. Be open-minded, right? When I left Kenya in 2017, I remember it was, it was on 22nd February 2017. I actually took my first flight to Cape Town. It was Kenya Airways, 7:15 a.m. You know, I took a direct flight all the way to Cape Town to start my study abroad journey. And I think it has been, how many years right now? 2026, that is like 9 years, 10 years. Actually, statistician, you say so. And that journey has taught me a lot. And when I left Kenya then, I say, when I come back to Kenya, I haven't yet come back. You know, I've been moving. I don't know when I'll come back, you know, officially here, but I'm still connected with the Kenyan community here. And I say, I'm not going to be the same person again. You know, when I go there, I'm going to immerse myself in the culture. I'm going to learn Zulu. You know, I'm going to learn Xhosa. I'm going to interact with the Zimbabweans. You know, in South Africa, you know, you will interact with all these, you know, African countries you hear, and also some other people from abroad. And while you're also there, even when you get opportunities to travel abroad, make sure that you're becoming a global citizen, right? Right now, your community probably are just people around the country, but when you get a chance to step outside, you create your own global community, right? Right now, if you tell me, do you know someone from China, Taiwan, do you know someone from Eswatini, do you know someone? I know them because I have a global community, and I think something that helped me there is being open-minded, right? Right? Being open-minded. Don't go to South Africa and you say, I don't want to try pap, right? Because pap is actually ugali of South Africa, right? Don't go to South Africa and say, I only listen to Gengeton. No, go there and listen to Amapiano, right? Go and listen to the Zim dancehall, because that's the only way you'll become a global citizen, right? Don't go there and say, oh, okay, I only like ugali and chapati and matoke back home. No, it's good for you to try, what is that dish from Ghana? Fufu, yeah, fufu from Ghana, right? Because that's the way you create a global community around you. And that global community will pray, you know, it is going to help you, you know. I remember at some point I found myself in Italy, you know, somewhere around Lake Como, and we were with friends. And, you know, we were very stranded until we were missing our flight. But one of my friends from Cape Town, who is a Zimbabwean, actually connected me with his relative who was there, and they were able to help us around there. So you can see how this global community, you know, work, and how the essence of Ubuntu, you know, actually work. Better Mentor has delivered you to a global university. And I think the next challenge is you to think, how will I deliver other people to global university? Because that's the only way, you know, we can keep passing the baton. That's the only way we can continue living the spirit of Ubuntu. Personally, standing here, I would actually like to tell you that it's all because of my effort of where I have been. You know, coming from East, you know, which is the East Africa, Kenya, going to South Africa, and then heading all the way to the West. You know, I'll be lying to you to tell you it's because of my own abilities. No, because of people who came ahead of me. It's because of people who tirelessly worked to make sure that I achieved my dreams and where I am. I'm still going to be there, you know, I'll be seated there. I could have read my notes, but I didn't. So if you'd like to interact with me more, or to learn more about UC Berkeley, to learn more about Cape Town, to learn more about Nairobi AI, to learn more about tech policy, to learn more about AI automation, or even to talk about cognitive science, I'll be there. We can chat more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Willie. Now, everyone stand up, stand up. Let's do some icebreaker. I want you to make sure you have someone next to you. So if, let's say, yeah, you can move close to him. We are not involved in this. It's you guys. So, you know the 1, 2, you know it. So when I say 1, you do this. 2, the next person, the one close to you. And then when I say 3, when your thing is, when you're captured, that's it. You can't help me. And if you're not, you're the winner. Fine? Everyone got it? Okay. So, where's the camera? So when I say 1, all of us are gonna do this. The left. Sawa. No. Yes. Is it the left? I'm correct. Yes. So if I do this, now he's gonna place his hand on top of mine. So when I say 3, it's either I withdraw or he grabs it. So it's just, we're going to see how fast people are in this room. We all got it? So 1, 2. Okay, we start. No, this we are doing it. We have not started. This is just a practical. Sawa. So now we put it down. Everyone, our hands down. 1, 2. No. 2. Hey, yeah. And remember, 2.5 is not 3.
Okay.
2.8 is not 3. No, we are not rounding off. This is not a math class. 3. How comes you're capturing 2, Willie? Why are you capturing 2? Yes. So, yes. And then, so Willie is supposed to be focusing on capturing. Yes. So we start again?
Yes.
Everyone got the rules?
Yes.
We are good? Okay. 1, 2. Nimeacha kufikiria. 3.
You have won.
Nani ameshikwa? No, we are doing this. 1, 2. No, don't worry. Yes. Both. Yes. We want to see how fast you are. So you focus on capturing the other at the same time, make sure you're not captured. 2.5. You all good? 2.9. 3. Did you tell this idea? We do it one more last time? Yes. Okay. It's hard. Utashinda, I promise. 1. If you are 1 na kuna mtu amekelea hivi bilete hapa. 1, 2, 3. Now you know who tukisonga pale kwa chakula, you know who mwenye atakuwa first. So right about now I want, oh, she's outside. I hope she's around though. Yeah. Yes. So Willie has told us what to expect when you're going outside the continent, outside Kenya. When you're going from east to south, and even when we are flying to west, and hopefully to the east. Now, not just East Africa or Eastern Africa, now outside. Senor, Now I want us to hear from Luyanda what she has to say when we talk about the opportunities. He mentioned Silicon Valley. Oh, it's great. 2027. Ni mimi nayo. So I want us to hear from Luyanda what she has to say about the opportunities outside Africa. Willie told us about what to expect, but now Luyanda will, Luyanda will tell us the opportunities that are out there and how to utilize them as global scholars. Luyanda.
Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you so much, Asha, and I feel really blessed and grateful to be in this room. And when Mary was speaking here, and she said there is a time for everything, it really touched my heart, because we cannot rush God's purpose in our lives, and sometimes we need to go through those delays and those periods of uncertainty to actually get where we're supposed to be, and to actually appreciate those blessings when they come, because blessings come with responsibility. My name is Liana Mzerele. I am from Eswatini, and I'm currently studying at the University of Buckingham in the United Kingdom. And before going to the UK, I was doing my international baccalaureate in Eswatini for 2 years. So I finished my high school. I couldn't immediately go to university because our qualification, our local high school certificate is not that strong. So I had to spend 2 more years doing the international baccalaureate, and for me that felt like a delay. But now that I'm studying at a really good university abroad, I realized that this was actually preparation for me as well. And I've had the ability to access so many opportunities. And one of them was being a delegate for the Global Partnership for Education at the United Nations General Assembly last year. So I got to speak there and represent GPE at different events. So going back to the aspect about opportunities, I am a RISE Fellow, which is a scholarship which finds you when you're 15 to 17 years of age and supports you through a lifetime of service. That means they provide funding for us at university, which is 4 years, and they also support you with postgrad opportunities as well as mentorship, technology packages, and so on. So I became a RISE Fellow in 2021. But then my journey with opportunities and looking for opportunities didn't stop there. It has been continuous, because I believe that you're continuously learning as a person. You don't get to a point where you have to stop learning, and you have no room to learn. So I've been applying for different opportunities. And back at home, I'm the chairperson of the UNICEF Youth Advisory Board. I also am a GP youth leader, which is focusing on education, and I've held different roles over time around climate change, education, and just realizing that it's really important to expose yourself to different people, to different ideologies, and to embrace new norms, such as coming to Kenya. It's my first time in Kenya, and it's a lovely place. I've been to Rwanda. I've also spent time in New York doing a gap year program earlier. In 2025, I was in New York for like 3 months doing a gap year program. So it's like going to these different places and realizing that there's a bigger world outside of you. And that really humbles you. At the same time, it makes you want to do more and get more for yourself. And I think that's really beautiful. And to also give back. And yeah, so it's really exciting. So I think it's really important to embrace new opportunities and to seek mentorship and to continuously just put yourself in situations whereby you have to grow, because you don't grow from areas where you're comfortable, but you grow when there's some discomfort. So thank you so much. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and talk to me whenever you feel like. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Luyanda. Now we know what to, not to expect, but what to get. Yeah. Not what to expect, what to get. So when you answer I'll say this. The scholarship you guys have, or we have, is just a start for greater things that we're going to find out there. So as you step outside, remember we are just starting. Tumeanza, we are on the starting line. So any other opportunity you get, grab it. And again, not every opportunity that comes your way is yours. I think that's one thing I learned this year. No, like 25 years. Not everything you're gonna apply to, you're gonna get it. But it's worth trying. I mean, just do it. I mean, if you would, who else would do it? Yes, just submit that application. The worst they can do is just send a rejection email. And we'll continue. I mean, who hasn't gotten a rejection in this room? Oh, wow. Happy birthday. So, I want us to hear from one of our, I'll call him a parent also. That he said it's very simple. So I want us to see that. I want us to hear from him on, we've heard about what to expect outside the continent. We've heard about what we get outside the continent, but now how are we going to make the most out of it? How are we going to make sure that the moment I get that opportunity, I'm going to make sure that I get something that will benefit from it, not just go and have fun and then come back. No. How am I going to make sure that I'm going to get the best and the most out of it? So I'm going to invite Dr. Johnson to talk to us about this just for a few minutes, and then we'll continue. Okay.
Thank you so much, Asha. I'll speak like Elizabeth Kimiti, because I'm the only one and her who is a parent. All of you are our children. Senior?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. As you have heard from Master of Ceremony, my name is Johnson Kinyua, the Dean of Students. I'm also in charge of career services at the University of Nairobi. I love working with the young people. We started the journey with a mentor, with a better mentor CEO, and I've never been disappointed with the kind of graduates we are producing. When we set up the career office, we made a mission to develop holistic, market and future lady, and also globally competitive graduates. So I've seen holistic through Christian Union, which we had a very good revival missions across the campuses through Christian Union SDA. I've seen market lady, student developing market lady skills through ALX and all that. Future lady by looking at the world by 2050, the skills that are needed. And now we are here talking about global competitiveness, and not serving Kirinyaga or Nyeri or Homa Bay, but we are talking about the world. You get? Yeah. And after the world, we go to the Mars, where Elon Musk is preparing for us to go and explore the Mars. So, well, my message is very simple. Global education is real. We are living in a global world, interconnectedness. What is happening in America now is a click of a button, and you see what is happening in Venezuela, what is happening in China, the building that is cutting fine, Hong Kong. So everywhere you see. So with that knowledge, we call ourselves global citizens. And I'm so happy here because in 1959 to 61, there was a young man, I think he was 26 then, Tom Mboya. He started exploring the world, going to Ghana for all these Commonwealth meetings. And he had a vision to take people to the world to learn. And mind you, he went and approached JF Kennedy, who was a senator then, before he became the president of the United States, with one mission to create a community of global scholars. I really admire Tom Mboya. At 1959, I don't know how old he was, because by the time he was being assassinated in 1969, he was 39. That means he started the program at the age of 29, if I'm not wrong. So, I don't know, Josiah, how old are you now?
I'm 27.
You're almost approaching Tom Mboya. You started the vision before Tom. But can you imagine Tom Mboya, even 1952, he's the one who was telling the Queen, even crafting the charter for Nairobi City, and also starting the movement for what? For the union, E equal to Atuori Yako. It was actually the Tom Mboya who started at 52. So you can minus 59 minus 52. Those are 7 years. So he started his movement at around 20 years. So my sister, whom I've been working with, she's called Pauline Kirate. She has written a small book called Owning Your Career, the Key to Your Career Success. She has outlined 4 E's, which I'm seeing is working in this room. The first is getting education. And she said between age 5 to age 25, get the education, primary, secondary, and university. After 25 years, you join the second E, from 25 to 35. It's called establishment. You establish yourself in a marriage, in your profession, whether you are an accountant or a lawyer. You establish yourself. How do you establish yourself? You take your professional courses, you do all the things that are required to define your career. Then, and also marriage. Although the Gen Z, I had a meeting in Mombasa. One of the things they told me they don't want is marriage. Because the parent has failed us. They are fighting, they are separating, divorce, putting pain, relationship, dungaring kiss to your girlfriend. You know, all those. When I had a Christian Union in Kanamai, 200 students, Christian Union executive from all our 13 campuses. When they say the first thing they don't want to do is marry. Is it the same here? I don't know. No. Yeah? Acha says yes. I would encourage during that second E of establish yourself in faith, establish yourself in marriage, establish yourself in your profession. By the time you are hitting 35, you are ready for the third E called executive. You are ready to hold an executive position as an MD, as a general manager, as a whatever departmental head, up to the age of 50. When you reach 50, you enter the final called ENCO. ENCO is another name for legacy. You stop focusing on building yourself, you focus on building whatever. So those are the 4 E's of owning your career and making your success. But I'm not there to speak about that, but I felt it's important. Josiah is building a community of crop scholars. At the age of 27, 26. Is it 26?
Yeah, 26.
You have a vision, like Tom Boyer. The vision you have is not for you, it's for Kenya and Africa. I remember when Tom Boyer launched that program, Airlift to America, some people are there whom I can identify. Just a few meters or a kilometer from here, there's a big building, UAP Towers. You know the owner? The one we launched the new year with a lot of hula balloon. Nyanan? Nyanan? Yeah? Old Musho, that one. You and Joe Ajui. Joe Ajui went to America, Columbia University, the one in Manhattan, Apple, and he studied, I think, engineering, yes, mechanical engineering, and he came and transformed Unilever, the East Africa Industries and all that. And now he owns that whole building plus another big land in Limuru comprises of coffee. And he has made a lot of significant impact because he was the first chancellor of the University of Nairobi, competitively appointed by Kibaki. Then I look at S.K. Macharia, the media mogul of Loyal Media. You know, he went under that whole program of global scholarship. And mind you, is the man who have suffered most, I think, in this country, if you read his history. They were being hosted by the families in the US. So, SK, the trip to go to UK before he takes a flight from UK, London to New York, he didn't have enough money. So he took a Kaba bus from here, a Kaba bus, for those who know a Kaba bus, all the way to Tripoli, Libya, through Uganda, South Sudan, Tripoli, because he didn't have enough money. Then he took a boat from Tripoli, there's a city, all the way to Italy, all the way to UK. It took around 2 weeks, that journey. Then, in all that journey, he didn't have money to eat. And he thought even when he took the plane now, the first plane from London to New York, the ticket did not have food, so he really fasted, and I really felt for him. So they were being hosted by couples in the US. So when he arrived in New York, he thought that's where the University of California, I think, Los Angeles or something, or Baptist, Southern Baptist, but it's in California, where Macha is. So when he landed in New York, he started asking, where is the University of Southern Baptist? He was told, it's in another miles away in California. He didn't have money for the bus. For the plane. He took a bus all the way. It took another 1 week. You can imagine from West Coast to East Coast of America, it's like from Nigeria to Kenya, by road. He really suffered. he arrived, he found that the couple that was to host him as he takes scholarship has separated. And therefore the house that was marked for him, it has no heating, and it was a winter season. It has no heating system. It had not, he stayed there for 2 days, one night. And a hungry man cannot generate heat even to keep himself warm. So he was almost at the point of death. And after all that, he found a good Samaritan who took him, he did his accountings and all that, and he came back. So the third one, now, when he came back, was Kuruswana na Moi sana. I know for those who are in my age, like, you know, Matthew Paper, he borrowed 1 billion in 1981 to establish a Matthew Paper in Thika, the largest paper mills in Africa. And 1 billion in 1981, you can imagine how much money was that. Moi was told this money has borrowed this money to overthrow your government. So 1982 coup, which took place here at the UN and KBC, Matthew was told the money he got from World Bank to set up was the one used to. So he suffered. And he stayed like 10 years without a job, but he had a vision. 1991, he established a diners club, like a bank. And Moi said, I'm also cancelling. He stayed again up to 1998. So he went to Moi and said, come on, attack me, you assume you went too. So he gathered his courage and went to Kabarak home. 5 a.m. he left Dhaka in Katanga, and went to Kabarak. The policeman from Moi knows him very well. When Moi was leaving to come to this house near Kabaranet Garden, he slayed himself on the gate, akanyangwa akufe. Na ajue alikanyangwa na that is a president. When the guards were almost to shoot him, Moi said, no, akatoka kwa limousine, I know this man. What is your problem? Utanisumbua mpaka lini? What is your problem? Ingia hapa limousine, tuende tukiongea mpaka Nairobi. So wakaongea, akaambiwa na usimame Gatanga kama MP na kiti ya KANU, na ukiwini mimi nitakusupport. Kaanza urafiki hapo na Moi. He had no interest in politics, so he failed, and Moi came even to his home, and the rest is history. He said, what do you want? I want to set up a radio station. I can't go your radio station established, but don't fight the government. So from loyal Water Citizen to Loyal Media in 2004, and now he has a whole media station. That is a case study of global scholars, Panjui, SK Macharia, na nani mwingine, ni wengi, including the father. He also went to California, where Macha is, studied at a graduate, masters and all that, and he's now all those kind of people, businessmen. So what I'm trying to say is that the vision you have is not for you. Because I had some people, ALU. How many are going to ALU? African Leadership University. I had somebody mentioning.
I'm there.
You are there? You know French Wanika? Hey, lead his story, because he also a global scholar like you, who went to Stanford to do his MBA. And he was to be employed in those global companies in New York, 44th Street. You know those big organizations. And he was trying to make a decision, do I go back to Africa after my master's, or do I work in these global firms? You know the PwC of the US, eh? And he scratched his head. It was during the summer, hot in July, and he wondered. It was a very difficult decision. He said, let me go back to Africa, although there are no opportunities. So he came to Ghana, where the mother was a teacher, moved to Botswana to South Africa now is in Mauritius. And the story is, I want to revolutionize Africa through leadership training. So he set up African Leadership Academy, African Leadership University, now African Leadership Accelerator Program, DLX, and the rest is history. And his mission and vision is to train 2 million leaders who will change Africa. Because the problem of Africa is not money, it's not resources, it's leadership. So with that vision, he has quoted Obama, he has quoted Gracia Machel, he has quoted everybody in his vision. And even Mwangi Ipiti, who is just next to us here. So what I'm trying to say, Josiah, and the rest of you, The opportunity you have gotten through MasterCard or any other scholarship is not for you. It's for your mother continent. And maximize it. Maximize it, because there is a time the age will come, you cannot do what you can do when you are 30 or 40. I used to love traveling because when I graduated, I planned to go to Botswana. I had it some land of beaver, diamond. The way you hear Israel is a lot of milk and honey. So the small job I got, I went to Mombasa 202 wakati wa election, kapatiwa kamshahara kangu na UNDP, sikurudi Nairobi. Kachukua basi from Mombasa through Kwale, Dar es Salaam, Mbeya, Tanzania, Mbeya to Lusaka to Harare to Bulawayo to Francista to all the way to Gaborone. To run away from poverty. You get? But I realized Kenya is a wonderful nation. So that journey, the way I had planned it that way, I cut it short in Dar es Salaam. And instead of booking the bus to go to Mbeya, I booked the bus to Arusha back to Nairobi. But my dream of going out never ceased. I also got an opportunity through BSO. And I went to Malawi, where I worked for 2-3 years. And I can tell you, it's a wonderful experience for those who are traveling the world. After I came back, I had that mission to travel the world. And between 2012 and 2020, whatever, I traveled 26 countries, across the 4 continents. The only continent I've not traveled is the Latin America, the Mexicos, the Argentinas, and Brazil. But the rest of all the others, I've traveled. But I can tell you, you need global education. Global education will take you far places. And to avoid the mistake that I have done, you need to embrace diversity. Do you know what is diversity? Whether somebody says I'm a gay or a lesbian, embrace them. Because when we are doing for interview, we were taken through what you call stretch interview. Stretch, even stretch your imagination. In a term of stress interview, not stretch, stress interviews. Can you work with a gay? Sio ni uchafu mingi sana. So when you are being taken, the one who was, even with the competence, was left out, and I wondered, why? So when I went to the interviewer, I thought that guy was so tough, even in our group discussion. But he said he can work with gay, and some of the people they are going to work with in those assignments are gay and lesbian. So diversity is the key. The second one, shortcuts sometimes circuit. Are we together? I was given a fellowship to go to Arizona State University, and there is this hype that B&B is cheap. Senior. So I booked my whole fellowship for 4 weeks in Arizona, and I paid my $150,000 for 1 month. Don't put your legs in both legs. Test with shallow waters. You get, don't deep dive. Because what happened is that the house I went, I found another lady from Puerto Rico. And he said, when I was booking you, I thought you were French from West Africa, so that you can teach me French. Kuba is another partner from Kenya, East Africa. You are the one who gave us the monkey called Barack Obama, with a lot of hatred there. And I've already paid the money. And I don't have another money to look for another. I said, oh my goodness, what the hell? Do I cancel this fellowship or what? I already paid my $50,000. Really familiar. For the first time in my life, I got depression. I've never had depression in my life. Then, akona machines za kufua nguo, akona kila kitu. But anakwambia, go 2, 3, 4 blocks there, you'll find a dry cleaner. Don't touch that machine. If you want to cook tea, naletoa sufuria ni kama ya dogina. When you have never been depressed like that. So my avoid shortcut. Airbnb is a hype, but I could have gotten a cheaper hostel even for student accommodation, which was still within a campus, which I could have paid less, like $60,000 for the whole period. I suffered. Then the second mistake I made, I was to visit University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. And I have written the cost of flight, before $20. Then a green bus. You know, green bus is $10, which is a 1K. I said between 420 and 10. So I took the green bus to downtown Los Angeles. I finished my business. Coming back, keeping time is important. I took a green bus, and it's a winter. So, but inside the bus is heated, so you don't feel. So the cashier jacket kona dollars, kona kipeti, kona passport, kama twende washing only for 5 minutes. You know, palm what? Between California and Arizona, there is palm whatever. Yeah. Palm house or whatever. And I took more than 5 minutes. I took 7. The bus left me with my passport, with my bag, with my dollars. Here I am. I have only Kibeti in my jean. But ilikuwa na card ya kuswipe. So I came from Washington. I could see the bus going and landing after it and kusimamisha na kutoka. It never stopped, and I was so stressed. So I asked, "Is there a taxi Uber will ask you for $500, which is so expensive? There is no lorry to take you there. Railway is only for cargo." And I said, "Is there a train?" At the airport, yes, it's about 25 kilometers. I took an Uber. I swiped. Fortunately, they have a swipe machine. I arrived in the airport, I have no passport. Nikawekwa kando na CIA, nikusachiwa. Who is this who is traveling in America without a passport? Fortunately, I had a card called International Teacher Card. That's the one that saved me. I took the flight, I paid 35,000. So ile 420, which is around 42,000 cash, I was saving. So shortcuts, short circuits. The one I was trying to save, it was white because I paid the taxi, I paid whatever. But fortunately, I arrived earlier than the bus. I waited in the stage. I took my bag. Everything was intact, and I learned my lesson. So shortcuts, short circuits. So where you can avoid those shortcuts, you can avoid. And finally, mental health is real. When you are abroad, it's real. I met ELC students in Arizona, in Waterloo, in Canada, in New York, Washington, wherever they are studying, even in Boston. And I can tell you can die of depression. So embrace the 3 things that I call them balanced excellence, balanced intelligence. 1, you may be very good in both, what you call intellectual what? Intelligence, IQ, and emotional intelligence on how you manage your own emotions, manage your own relationship with others. Because once you do that, you'll be able to live well. And the third and the most important is called spiritual intelligence. Knowing who you are, where you are going, your purpose, your mission. You know you are going to study to achieve a particular something in life that outlasts you. It's not really for you, it's for the society, it's for Africa, it's for revolution. Once you combine those, it's like balanced diet, there is protein, there is carbohydrates, and there is vitamin. Once you have the intellectual intelligence, the emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, you will live a balance. Because I found students depressed almost to the point of giving up that program. Not only in California and in Arizona, even in China, Uhuru launched the SGL in 2017. And he sent around 156 students to China to study railway engineering. So that between 2017 and 2022, the Chinese will have learned the railway and then hand over to our locals to learn. That dream has not been achieved. So I met them in Jiaotong, Beijing University. And I can tell you those students were almost committing suicide. Loneliness, kutukana na wa Chinese, kufanywa nini, and I encouraged them, I stayed them with one week, and you could see them resuscitating in terms of strength. So to avoid mental health, form a community of your fellow people, link with home, link up with people like what I told the Equity group. Let Mwangi and his team in the Equity have a webinar 1 month to speak to them, ask them how they are going and all that. And as I conclude, because this was not my day, what Josiah is doing, creating a global community scholars in South Africa, like I've had Pretoria, Stellenbosch, or whatever, Cape Town, is a very good thing. And Guka, who is also a good student, I gave scholarship to go to Hungary. He's creating a global scholars. He has called so many Kenyans to go to Hungary to study various courses. And they have a community where they meet and encourage each other. In Tel Aviv, in Israel, where I have more than 200 students doing internship, Gideon Kirui, who I saw, he married a German on Saturday. He has created a global community whereby they have even a circle. You know circle? They earn good money in Israel. So every day they put like 5K in that kit. So whenever you come like a new scholar to study masters or do something, unakopeshewa 1 million ya kusurvive, ya kulipa nyumba here and there. So, and I saw that community is good. The house, the apartment they are living is a good one. In fact, I had my pajama I never spent for a whole week because the student took care of me very well. And even when I was leaving the airport, they paid everything. I have never seen a global community so successful like the one in Israel. And even when the war broke 17th of October in 2023, I went to the CS job PA. Tukakomboa Kenya Airways iende Tel Aviv. Ikachukua wanafunzi wetu because they are now going on a government program. Do you know none of them came back and none of them died? But Tanzania lost 3, Indonesia lost 8, Nepal lost 2. We have 8 countries that works under that program. It's only Kenya because they went to Adabank. They learned how to survive as a community. And I tell you, I'm so proud of that team in Israel. And another one during COVID that we took 66 of them in France. They never died of COVID. Because we told them cross-cultural immersion is real. Integrate yourself, learn together, and make sure that you are a brother's keeper and know each other how they are doing. Every day you call, if you can't visit, you call. And that's how it has worked. So with those few many marks, allow me to pause there and I say I'm so proud of this global scholars community that I know is going to change the face of Africa and the face of Kenya because you are the future and the current as we are transiting. Elizabeth? Yes. Hey, so the future is here and the current also. Thank you very much. And as Elizabeth said, I love you all. And manifest as I design.
Thank you so much. We're about to finish. Don't worry. We wouldn't all be here if it wasn't for one person. Senor. And it's funny how dreams become realities. Can I give them a story of how we met? Probably you don't know. I used to see Josiah as when he was still a scholar. I think by that time he was in UN, and it was my first time attending a mentor's training at Mount Kenya University. By that time I was a mentor, I was new to Equity, but you see these names that are normally mentioned, and then I think Beverly mentioned you, and then Beverly shouts, and she was like, "Ako happy Josiah," now everyone turns. So I saw him, I'm like, who is this Josiah? So he spoke, I think, when we were at Mwai Kibaki. He spoke. And then the next time we meet, now we met at, not Pangani, KU. No, yeah, it was Pangani and then we met at KU. Then the next time we met, that's when I talked to him. Me nilikuwa namuogopa, honestly. So when we met, and he's like, I told him, we talked kidogo, and then he's like, oh, okay. Then we became friends actually. And by the time I came to realize who Josiah really is, he was already sitting at, I think he had graduated from UN and he was sitting as part of the ELP desk. So we used to send emails. Now, the funny thing is that this year, this guy, we used to sit in the same place listening to the same people. The next year, he's the one speaking. Tunaambiwa tukituma emails za ELP desk. send it to Josiah. And then that became interesting to me. It's like, how? That's when I started to learn more about ELP. And it is the name that made me interested. And fast forward, last year, I think, when I was doing my applications, I told him about them, him and Kelvin Mugai. And they were like, you see this thing, like me, my mind was literally so fixed because I had received a rejection before. It was from UWC, yes. So when I received that rejection, I was like, you know what, I'm not applying to any South African school anymore. And then Kelvin was like, you know what, I think you have a shot to our school. I started the application to NYU of them. All this while I'm doing my application, I'm doing it alone, but I'm picking 1, 2, each and every time I speak to them, each and every time I'm calling them, they're helping me somehow. Because I've never done it before, and like ELPs, ELPs are normally picked A's and A minus. I had a B+. I didn't get to experience that mental thingy, so I did it all alone. But on the background, I had some people who helped me a lot, and Josiah is one of them. So I want to take this opportunity to invite him and to let him just address us, let him tell us everything that he wanted to say. And also, remember this is your day scholars, so feel free to ask him any questions. This is the only session I'm giving you guys to ask questions, and from there, we'll have a vote of thanks, then a photo session, and then we'll have our dinner. So, thank you.
Let's clap for Asha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Asha, for the wonderful coordination from the very beginning. And just to mention, she said, even when I requested her to do the emceeing, even if she had not done it before, she did tell me that. She said, it's fine. You know, and that's the power of an open mind and a mind that is open to opportunities. You will go far, my sister. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Najua mjakula, but say good evening with some strength. Good evening.
Good evening.
At least with the promise of that we will get some food. My name is Josiah Morioki, and I'm very honored to be in this space and this place today. The reason as to why, first of all, I am very honored is because we are here with our guest of honors today, the people who are going to be the next movers and shakers of the African economy, the people whose dreams have come to fruition, the people who are standing on top of one mountain, and I hope that you know that the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. And I hope that you are willing and able and capable to take up the challenge that is in front of you. So if you're seated next to a global scholar, whether current, incoming, or outgoing, please shake their hand and tell them, welcome to the global community. No, shake their hands, you know, vigorously.
Global Scholars Community.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Sitting here, when I was seated at the back and just listening to the stories, because we've had quite a number of stories, one of the things that came to my mind is that truly, recently we held a mental health awareness workshop at the University of Nairobi, thanks to the Dean of Students. Every day, anytime, when we want to have an event at the University of Nairobi, we've always known that we have a warm welcome to the university to use a very state-of-the-art equipment, state-of-the-art halls. So if you have a corporate event and you want to hire, now I can market them, it's my alma mater. And we held the mental health awareness workshop on the 6th of December, and we hosted 350 young people. That was an achievement. So when I sat here today, we are a total of 21. Someone would be like, this is, you know, very small event. But the truth of it is that there's truth in this wisdom, that many are called, but few are chosen. You are a chosen few. Clap for yourself. Secondly, is to remember that as we are here today, we are here to celebrate the good work that we have done. We are here to celebrate the good work that our parents, our guardians, all our destiny helpers, I think it's Gaia who talked about destiny helpers, and we all have stories. if you were starting your application process now, the most important thing in your journey will be your story. If you don't tell your story well, it will be as good as if you did not apply. But then, as a mentor, I will say that if you don't apply, you miss out on all the opportunities that pass through your eyes. There's opportunities all over LinkedIn. But then, many people see them, just as the same principle. Many people see them, many people bookmark them, many people share them, but few apply. When I started my application journey, I think this is important. When I first started my application journey, I was a Wings to Fly scholar, by the way. I know we have quite a number of them here, and that's been my greatest blessing in life because it exposed me to so many people and so many perspectives. But then, when I started my application process, I was just post-high school, and we had been trained on how to do applications. But then, they say that you can take a man from the village, but you cannot take a village out of the man. So in my mind, I only knew the reality of Kirinyaga. I literally went to the following schools. I went to Kirinyaga Township Primary School. I went to Kirinyaga High School. I almost went to Kirinyaga University. But God is good that I went to the University of Nairobi. And through that period after Kirinyaga, I still was very village-like in my mind. I would have been wearing suits because I had gotten an internship at the age of 17, but my mind was still in the village. I never knew anything beyond the confines of my village. And apart from knowing all that was within the confines of my village, I am a first-generation student. First-generation student to mean that in my bloodline, no one has ever gone beyond high school. Leave alone that no one had ever scored anything close to an A, which is what I scored. Now, I was a trailblazer. I was fast and few. At least I was not fast and furious. I was amongst the fast and few to at least dream of getting a university education. So when I started my journey to now applications to universities, I would hear students, some of our mentors were going to Pennsylvania, University of Pennsylvania, others were going to Harvard, others were going to University of California, Berkeley, others were going to the University of Cape Town. And I would listen to all these fancy universities, and there are those who had already gone. And realizing that a boy from Kirinyaga, and by the way, when I say Kirinyaga, there is no town called Kirinyaga, it's a county. But then even if I round off my home to the nearest town, it will still not come to a town that you know the name. So, coming from that deep, thinking that I would ever go to a place that, is you fly for 14 hours, 16 hours, was never a dream that I had, and that is to say the truth. Why? Because exposure is important. When you haven't seen, you haven't known. And that is why, if you haven't traveled somewhere, at least watch movies about it, watch documentaries about it, or read books about it. Because then, through getting that exposure to the people who had gone there, they didn't speak English like mine. They didn't, you guys know about the realities of the village. And I was given an opportunity to apply, but I squandered the opportunity. 17-year-old, poor me, I did not apply. I literally applied to 2 universities. One, African Leadership University. And I got an admission, but I did not get funding. So I did not go. 2, Minerva University. And the only reason I applied to Minerva is because it did not have SAT. So I was not willing to commit my 14,000. As the Kikuyu I am, I wasn't willing to commit my 14,000 to gamble for an application I wasn't sure. So I only applied to 2 schools. I did not get funding at Africa Leadership University, and Minerva University gave me a very sweet rejection. I still remember where I was when I was reading that email. Dear Josiah, thank you for making your application. Unfortunately, we are not able to offer you the opportunity. And going on and on, I settled within the University of Nairobi. I remember I did industrial chemistry. Actually, I said you were doing analytical chemistry. So I was doing industrial chemistry. If you ask me today why I did industrial chemistry, I don't know. Probably it's because I loved chemistry in high school. But at least I completed. Finish what you start. At least I finished. And I did not just finish. I finished with 1, a good grade. 2, very powerful networks. I remember when I first called the Dean of Students, I called him first time, he did not pick. Second time, he did not pick. Third time, he did not pick. The 4th time he picked my call, he said, Josiah Muriuki Trukora had given him my name. Josiah Muriuki, why don't you write me a message? I was like, good morning, sir. My name is Josiah Muriuki. I'm the president of the Equity Leaders Program at University of Nairobi. Immediately he heard that, he stopped me and said, where have you been? I have been looking for you. So, doors will not always be open. You have to knock them. I knocked the dean's door, and to date, this is the 5th year in a row, he's still supporting the Equity Leaders Program at the University of Nairobi. Once again, let's clap for him. Realizing the truth in that there is wisdom. If you've read the story in the Bible of the woman and the judge, that persistence every other time will avail. I know there are people who have given their stories here and you've had 9 rejections. I got 10 rejections. So that is the power of persistence. And when I joined the University of Nairobi, I settled. I remember I almost dropped out of campus at 3rd year because I was depressed as well. I was thinking about it from the point of, I am at university today, but no one else has ever been to university in my family. So even if I'm struggling with anything, we had a module called Thermodynamics 2. Thermodynamics 2 had filled 2A4, 200 pages. And we had to cram formulas because there is no way thermodynamics you are deriving 66 formulas from Formula 1 up to the last one, and that will be tested in the exam. I went to my friend and I asked him, well, umeelewa hiki tu, simnajua tu comrades vile wanajifanyanga You know, comrades will tell you, hey, you know, we have not even understood, but they have understood, just that wanakufichia white. You know, they're trying to get you to think that they also haven't understood. And I sat with one of my mentors from the Fellowship of Christian Union, Focus, and he told me one thing that has fueled me always. He told me, treat your life like a tank. A tank has an inlet and an outlet. Any day, you need to first fill the tank for you to draw from the tank. So when my life is a tank, I first get to things that fill me, and then I can get to things that draw me. And that took me through university. By the time I was graduating, I knew that I don't want to stay in Kenya. We had just completed our university in June. We graduated in September, thanks to the University of Nairobi for keeping time. We graduated like this. I started my applications. So the 10 applications that I got rejections for, and the 1 admission that I got, were all after I graduated. And the realization of how powerful the network that you have is what kept me, because as part of Equity Leaders Program, I was well versed and I'm able to talk to lots of people. So I was well versed with a network that helped me to tap into all the opportunities. I applied to China government scholarship, Hungary, I applied to 3, applied to University of Cape Town twice, got 2 rejections. I don't know what they missed, by the way. Then I applied to the Slovakian government scholarship, I applied to Serbia. I did all those applications with the faith that the boy from Kirinyaga, who went to Kirinyaga High School, Kirinyaga Township Primary School, almost, as I told you, will one day leave this country. And I wasn't leaving the country to go and now be, you know, this person who doesn't look back home. I was leaving the country to go and get something, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. By that time, I had started Better Mentor Africa. I had started Better Mentor Africa, and it was not what it seems to be today. So we were just doing mentorship out of passion. I always say it was a passion project. We were always doing mentorship in high schools, and that is why mentor is at the center of our name, by the way, it's not by mistake. So we were doing mentorship in high school, going to tell students about opportunities that were available. I got a job at Equity that time now, while still doing that mentorship. I got a job, I was working as the assistant coordinator for the Global Universities program at Upper Hill. I was always telling students about scholarships, about opportunities, about fellowships, but I had not gotten myself one. I was like that kibao that tells you this is the way to Nairobi. It has never been there. So, as that kibao, I worked myself out to get at least one. So when you see that I did so many, it's because I had a group of people. You know, when you stand in, those who sat around, now you're sitting in these spaces, you will sit next to Melvin here. Next time he will be like, you know, my name is Melvin, I'll go to Vaso, Pretoria. You know, you'll not even be saying Pretoria, you'll be saying Pretoria. Now, I sat with people who are saying, my name is Ken, I go to Harvard. My name is James, I go to Cambridge. My friend, and my name is Josiah, I went to the University of Nairobi. It's a good university, but when you sit amongst people who have been exposed, you want to be like them. You know, it's the truth of you are a sum total of your friends, right? I started my application journey, went through, and this one moment that changed my life is the moment when, on a WhatsApp group that I was a part of, I saw a form, application to MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program at the University of Pretoria. It was the last application I did. I did that and closed that door. I was like, God, this might not be the way you're going to bless me. Now bless me in other ways. I had done that application, I had closed, and I was done. Then, at the same time, I was poached from the organization I was working in to another bank. I was reached out to and told, if you would want a better job, please come. I did the interview, you know you have to do the normal hiring procedure. And at the same time that the email for my scholarship came, is the same time that the email for a better paying job that had almost 25,000 on top of the salary I was earning, and you can be sure I was earning well. Now you're looking at, niende shule, ama niwache, let me, you know that, eh? And you're just thinking to yourself, do I want to go to school or should I start working? And thinking about it in that interview room, I was given, not in the interview room, in the induction room, I was given the form to sign. The form to say I'll be coming to work starting on the 9th of January 2023. But then, at that time, I had received an email that was almost the final confirmation to tell me that you've gotten a scholarship. Do you know what I did? I made a firm decision. I went and told the HR. Many of you who are working via HR, but I went and told the HR, I would want to request that I go home with this form. And there's something I'm waiting for. Faith. There's something I'm waiting for. And once that decision is made, I will sign and bring it back or not. So I left with the form. He actually told me outrightly, you can just walk out. So everyone else is busy signing the form, and he said, you can just walk out. I did not walk out. I disobeyed for a bit because I didn't want to leave my friends. You know, we were a cluster of friends who, that opportunity we had gotten through the Dean of Students once again. Guys, do you know of Destiny Helpers? This man has held my hand from the time when I was in my 3rd year to the time that I even got the scholarship. And to date, you can see he is here to witness this great occasion. I got that chance and denied it or rejected it and got a scholarship that I accepted. When I accepted the scholarship, within the first 1 month of moving, I traveled first time to South Africa from JKIA to OR Tambo International Airport. Some of you already have gotten their flight tickets to OR Tambo, you'll be getting them soon. I got to South Africa, and within 1 month of being in South Africa, I had gotten an opportunity to go to Harvard. Ladies and gentlemen, I went to Harvard. I went to Harvard. And realizing what that one opportunity to leave Kenya for the US opened my mind to that, oh, geography was true. That when you go to the west, you lose time. When you come to the east, you gain time. Learn things like jet lag. I did not know anything like that. Like, do you mean nikipanda matatu kutoka Kirinyaga kukuja Nairobi, I can get jet lag? How? You know? And now, realizing that I go to a new place, new people are very welcoming. I attended the Harvard Africa Business Conference. And what that does, or what it did to me, is that it opened the world of possibilities in my eyes. That I could see the world that I had never imagined, even in 1,000 years, I would never have thought of what that one opportunity to travel from Kenya to South Africa to the US, fully funded, would do to me. Then immediately after that, went back to school, went for a conference in Cape Town. I'm saying this because those of you who gotten a scholarship, now you think you've gotten there. But there is a lot that awaits you. Not in a bad way. The a lot that awaits you is, as I said, the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. You will start to see people who have started companies and are running companies for 3 years in a row. They have audited statements, they have bank accounts, they have all that, and they are talking about their impact. And you're like, I'm just 18 years. I was talking to one of you, Anajujua, and I'm just 18 years. What can I do? But you have a skill. You're representing an entire country. And by just being in that space where you are, the people are looking to see what can the Kenyans do. Show them what the Kenyans can do. Because when I went to Cape Town for my conference, I was just networking, the power of networking. I was just networking and talking to the people that were around. And one of my professors held my hand and took me to one of the people and was like, do you know the president and the CEO of the largest food science institution in the world? I said, no. Come, let me take you to them. And I went, hello, my name is Josiah, continued. We talked for a record 2 hours. And I wasn't the only one talking. She also was talking, and the president was also talking. So it was the president, the CEO, and myself. We are busy having stories and them telling me of how they've been to Kenya, how they've been, they've tasted Kenyan tea. And you know, if they talk about Kenyan tea, we even grow tea. So I will now hammer on that. So even how we pick tea, how we grow it, how we mill it, and all the process until it gets to your cup. What I didn't realize is that by having that very casual conversation, they were picking points on what I was talking about, and they were connecting to who can we connect this ambitious, visionary young man to. I was connected to some of the people that have been very instrumental in my journey, to the point that as I stand here today, I sit in the board of directors of the Institute of Food Technologists Students Association in Chicago. I've traveled to Chicago for the last 2 years, 4 times, 3 times on business class. And the time that I didn't fly on business class is because I didn't know actually that I am qualified for business class. So my village mentality was still telling me, hey, book for economy that you can afford, so that when they are reimbursing, they will reimburse your money and you will not be in a short. What I'm saying is, please tell your story the more. Your story keeps on evolving. Don't have one version of it. Get better by the day. As you get into the global space, and those of us who are still doing the applications, I stand here as an inspiration, and not just as an inspiration, to tell you that when you start your journey, always remember why you started, because the why will keep you going. After that, got to the Institute of Food Technologists, I still kept on, and as the political mindset that I have, I decided to vie to be chairperson of Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program at the University of Pretoria. Those who are going to University of Pretoria, please don't tell me vie, because we have to win these opportunities. What that did is, it made me sit square amongst the top best brains in the world, because I was sitting with students from all Mastercard Foundation partner universities globally. These students have become a network that they are the people that if you ask me, do you know someone from Benin? I'll be like, yes, let me connect you to my friend. Not just someone I know. Let me connect you to my friend from Benin, and I'll even tell you their name. Do you know someone from the Congo? Do you know someone from Angola? Do you know someone from the Gambia? Guys, I know there are some of these countries we even don't know about them now, especially if you did do geography. But then, at least getting into that platform, one, it gave me an opportunity to nurture my leadership. And it was during that period that the scholarship application program that is dubbed Twende Machutu Kasome program started. It started just as an act of charity. An act of charity to do what? An act of charity to help other people, because I believe my mantra in life is, to whom much is given, much is expected. Any day, any time, when you have much will be expected from you. So I started that as an act of charity. I created a group and formed, and many people joined, around 500 and something. And then only from that group, only 30. Many are called, but few are chosen. Only 30 did and completed the applications. From those 30, we got 15 admissions, a 50%. 50% success rate. Those are current students studying at a fully funded scholarship in South Africa. We have more who did not just get South Africa, and just like Gaia Carl here, he got 2 scholarships. We have students who got 3 and even 5 opportunities at once. You know, you cannot stop an idea whose time has come. When your time has come, there's a time for everything. So when your time has come, and no one, not even your village people, no one will stop it. And after we got that, then the ideation of how about we institutionalize this, because I think the village mentality is so bad, guys. I'm happy that I have done the best. Now I am not a villager anymore. At least in my mind, I know I am a global citizen. So when I decided now to institutionalize the activities of what we were doing, I remembered the words of the dean again. He told us to have 5 things by the time we were done with university. 1 was a passport, 2, a CV, 3, digital skills, 4, a foreign language, and I think I forgot the fourth.
Driving license.
Driving license. Now I have to actually. My first one expired. So it seems I actually took that very seriously. And I'm learning so many foreign languages, actually. So many of them. And I took those words and now started to, as an institution, as an organization, to formalize the activities of what we do. And part of that formalization was to come up with a website. If you go today to www.bettermentalafrica.com, you will see all the activities, even this event you will see it there. You will actually be able to see it on YouTube, thanks to the good work that Gymtech Studios is doing. And it's been a journey that I have seen a few things. But the first one is that we have to overcome the barriers of the mind, because the mind is the boss. If you tell yourself that you can do it, you pray, you work hard, and you dedicate your entire time. In The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho says, there's a very good narrative that says that if you want something so badly, then the universe will conspire and give it to you. I believe in the truth of that because I have seen that I have done applications, even after I got my first scholarship. I have done applications and got rejections. But after I was in South Africa and was called to do an honors degree, which was a second degree, I actually never regret doing it because it's really helped me in my journey. After I did the honors degree, I was then admitted to do a master's. And while applying for my master's, I saw Mandela Rhodes Scholarship. I applied. In 1 year, I had gotten 6 scholarships. I was choosing which one to take and which one not to. I had gotten travel grants. I was traveling to the US back and forth, to the point that at the end of last year, I was on one flight that was very long and I got bored and I started counting the number of flights that I was in. And you know how many they were? Should I surprise you? If I will count the very last that I got landed in Kenya, I was on my 55th flight. I've been, yes, 55th flight. I have been, thank you, I have been to 5 African countries and a total of 6 countries in total. So I see by the time I'm your age, Bernardine, I will. And it's a journey. It's a journey that starts with one step. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. So if that one step, for anyone who is looking for an opportunity, if that one step was to come here, then you're in the right place. If that one step is for those who are leaving to go to school in the next few days, and those who've already left, because we've students who left to China and to New York University, Abu Dhabi, and to the US schools. For you who have gotten this opportunity, if that one step is to register a company so that by the time you're going to your school, you will have at least a theory of change to share with them, then let that be your first step. So that when you're coming back, you're not coming back to tell them, as we say in our French mother tongue, we say, no kugeria man. So you will not be just geriaing. Anyone who does not understand what it means, we just try. We just try. Even those who drive Prados and big cars, they say, no kugeria. We are just trying. So that you move from the trying culture, at least start something. Because when you have started something, you're able to tell the world about what you do. Many of you, if I did an invitation to you as an individual, you would not have come to see me because, who am I? But at least because of the vision that has brought us here, then we are able to sit and say, we are doing this for our society and for our community to make the world a better place. You have worked with mentors. You've worked with people who have opened doors for you. You have gotten so much help. Those we started the journey with, I want to recognize Mary. Mary, you can stand and wave to the people. Mary was the first scholar to join our cohort for last year. And she was so committed, such that, she's daughter to Elizabeth, such that by the time we were having our first meeting in Nairobi, we had our first meeting in town. That day, I think I was so tired because I was coming from high school ministry. I was in Kianyaga High School, then had to come to a meeting in Arboretum with my students in University of Nairobi. Then I had to come meet you, and then I had to go and see one of our colleagues in hospital. And by the time I was going home, I was so worn out, such that I knew that this is not for me. This has to be that it has a greater reason for being established. And all of us who joined, I remember during the sessions when we had never even met in person, but we had at least one goal. The one goal was we want to be better and get the opportunities, because it's Better Mentor Africa. So it's my great honor and privilege, to be in front of you, to see what the power of a dream can do. That a dream is like a seed. You plant it, it grows. You leave it, it dries. And this dream that started just as a seed while I was at the University of Nairobi doing mentorship in high schools is now going beyond mentorship in high schools. We are doing mentorship for scholarships and global opportunities. We are starting our school feeding program. Very soon we'll be launching that. It's called the Two Lesotho Initiative, that is inspired by the passion of that. I went to school without shoes, without food. To date, I don't even care about breakfast because it was inculcated in my system. I didn't used to take breakfast. But at least that we can provide decent food to young people, children of school-going age in different parts of this country. Those are things that we work behind the scenes with a powerful and wonderful team at Better Mentor Africa. Please clap for the entire team, because you can see me here today, but I have an amazing, incredible team of people, most of whom even came in as volunteers and said, like our website was made by a volunteer. She said, you see, this is your website. I asked ChatGPT and it said, that's an online brochure. I asked ChatGPT, please critique this website. What do you think about it? Say, hey, what you have online, you're doing a very great job, but what you have is an online brochure. You need to do better. Now, when someone came on board and she requested, can I do your website for free? I was like, hey, I will pay for hosting, I will pay for everything, nitalipia kila kitu. And we got our website. So now you can access opportunities on Better Mentor Africa. You can watch the sessions that we have had here. You can see the events you can get to see what the world has for you. Either it's a job, an internship, a mentorship, opportunity, a volunteer, whatever it is, you're able to get it on our platform, and it's getting better and better. It's Better Mentor Africa. So in conclusion, you have worked with great people. You've worked with mentors. As you get into your year of study, let it be not just your year of study, but your year of service. There are people who will only know a global education if you open their minds to realizing what a global education is. If you get that opportunity and close your hands and be like the peasant in the Caucasian chalk circle, those of us who've read the book, if you be like the peasant in the Caucasian chalk circle who holds his hands that no one else can access what it is that he has, then you will have failed. Because what we are doing here, we are not just getting the baton. We are getting it so that we can pass the baton. It is my great, great honor to see that apart from myself being the mentor, or Better Mentor Africa being an organization, that there will rise many other organizations and individuals that will help to do and move this dream to the next level. We have had sessions, we have had interviews, we have had essays, the moments of back and forth. I know there are many of you whose your essays have been returned over and over again. I know we have interacted with different people, and through those interactions, what that has been doing to you, whether you have it now or not, what that has been doing to you is sharpening. Gold is not refined under low temperatures. Gold is refined under high temperatures. So be ready, even now, to be refined more and more. I thank you all for this opportunity, and I most especially want to thank one very special person to me, Luyanda Munzebele. I know many of you have seen her here today. She joined us, and apart from working with her professionally, I have known her personally, and I want to let all of you know that you have a great, great support in her. And I love you so much. So much. Because of the support, not just that you give me, but also that you give to the scholars. I have moved from being a villager to now that my one and only comes from not Kenya, not Uganda, not Tanzania, not the East African community, but from all the way from King Swati's country. And what I haven't told you is that she didn't just come in to support because she's my girlfriend. She actually enjoys reading essays. And I was, now that I knew later after, I was like, wow. And how many of you did you see Luyanda somewhere in your essays? I want to see hands so that we know that it was actually an actual thing. She was volunteering to read them for free. And what a blessing, what favor that God, in his own ways, gave the Kirinyaga boy as well. Now I have learned this one. And I will greet you guys, Rinjan, and you say their peace. So that was my words of encouragement. And it's my way of saying that we really can be and move to any spaces, provided that we do the wisdom of wash your hands. If you want to dine with the kids, you have to have clean hands. You cannot go with dirty hands or dirty hands. You have to wash your hands. Thank you so much. I love you all, and let's have a conversation after this if you have any questions. And I believe that there are those of us who haven't gotten their dream yet, hasn't come to fruition. We are here to support you. And that is why when we start this journey of passing the baton, we are not going to stop. Why? Because we are better, mentor Africa. Thank you.
Well, you know, he was mentioning some countries, and then some random country came into my mind. This, I think, is the second smallest country in the world. Thank you. What was I saying? Yes, I think it's the second smallest country in the world. And the funny thing is that it's in Africa. Okay, the smallest and the second smallest are both in Africa. Seychelles is part of Africa, right? Yes. This country is Sao Tome and Principe. No one ever thinks about this country. And I think, have you ever been there?
No, I know a couple of things.
You know, you say that, and I remember there's a time in school I met someone from Guinea. And I was like, oh, Guinea is actually a country, like there are people. And it's the same thing when it happened to me. I grew up watching the Madagascar show. Are they penguins? That's how I felt when I met someone from Madagascar. I'm like, wait, there are actually people in Madagascar. It's because, you know, I mean, Josiah is the villager from Kirinyaga. Now me, I'm in Nairobi, but I'm not I'm a villager. Yeah, Abana. But the funny thing is that when I meet people and I ask them where I come from, no one would ever guess. In fact, no one would ever guess my tribe here. Apart from Bridget, because I told her today. It's that, can you? Oh, I told you also. No, not you too. Even Josiah doesn't know. You don't? I'm a Nubian. Yes. You see, this is what I mean. And the funny thing is that you'll meet one or two, and then disappear, and then again you meet someone, and then people are like, oh, so the Nubians are real. Yes, that's how I feel when I met that girl from Madagascar. I'm like, oh, so Malagasy people are real. I want us to have our dinner. I don't know if they are ready. I'm just passing time. They're good?
Yeah.
Okay. So we get someone to pray for us, and then we go eat. And then from there we'll have a vote of thanks from Horida. And then the certificates. Yes. And then a cake cutting session. For, I believe there is one of us who is has a birthday today?
Yes.
Yes. So we have our dinner, a vote of thanks, the certificates. We cut the cake and then we take photos. Then everyone will leave. Sawa. Thank you. Anything else? Who wants to pray for food? No. Actually, with Muslims, I think, I don't know if you guys all know this, but ladies don't really pray in public. Yeah, we give that to men. Yes. So, any man. Melvin. Unajua mnamwona ni mdogo.
Yeah, I have it.
Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Everlasting Father, we come before your presence, and thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the gift of each and every one of us here. God, thank you for this event, oh Lord. It was a success, oh God. And oh Lord, we pray for the meal that we're going to have right now, oh God. May you bless it and be of impact to us. In Jesus' name I pray and believe. Amen.
Thank you, Melvin. So I don't know the order you're going to follow, but I believe we're all good. Hello. So feel free. Now is the time to interact, and then we'll come back. Hello. We can all start and start coming.